People often believe that it is mankind who created logic and reasoning and then applied it to the nature around us. I cannot stress enough how incorrect that statement is. The correct order is that mankind observed the nature around them and then represented it in symbols and terms, eventually developing a science of the observation. Although the symbols and terms could vary, the reasoning behind it doesn't. For example, we can have every traditional digit now equal a different value, but nothing will change the need to represent an additive or subtractive situation, meaning the nature of addition and subtraction is not man-made, but we could say that the symbols and terms or representation of it is. When it comes to defining a situation that is always the case no matter what the specifics are, once again, it is not mankind that offers the assumption. Instead, it is nature that provides the reasoning. Keep in mind that it really doesn't matter how limited we may be in resources or ability to comprehend or experience. And I know that it may be hard to believe, but when we target what must be the case no matter what, we don't need to have the ability of enlightened super beings. Let us put this approach to good use. Either we're the only kind of life in all of existence, or what we have on Earth is possible all over the place. Remember, don't get fooled by all the variations, because such differences still fall under the two main ideas just stated. Let's simplify those two ideas. Either we're the only kind of life, or we're not the only kind of life. Every variation or version will fall under one of those two ideas, such as being the only kind of life in this galaxy, or not being the only kind of life in this universe while still being the only kind of life in this solar system or galaxy, etc. The reason I start out like this is to help confirm that what we experience and observe in our lives is not something that is hopelessly relative and limited by what we bring to the table. On the contrary, what we experience is a page taken right out of the nature of existence in its entirety. Yes, you heard me correctly. Although there can be an infinite amount of different or similar or identical kinds of existence, what does not change is the ability to have an existence in the first place. Once again, we have taken a step into the greater view of all things, not allowing variation to fool us. Our classification systems, such as taxonomy, have convinced us that we have defined existence when it has always been the other way around, where it is existence that defines our classification systems. It is existence that gives value or confirmation for our representations. So although we classify humans as making up our own genus or species, at the same time we are well aware that we share classification in terms of being mammal or vertebrate or living or biological. And many of us know full well that if we wanted to, we can continue to classify things so that both the living and non-living fall under matter or structure or form with mass. So don't think that the distinction of 5 kingdoms means that we're separate or of an entirely different existence, even though each kingdom may have its unique or exclusive attributes. Because anytime we want, we could also point out all the similarities that the 5 kingdoms share. Now, when you look at our classic environment in terms of biological organisms and growth, what I am discussing with you is a nature that is constant for all of existence. Remember, the variations can differ, such as life on Earth being carbon-based or deriving from protein orders or needing a certain percentage of water plus surrounding environment. But what doesn't change is the ability to grow or develop in the first place. Meaning, does growth have to always involve a biological organism? No, which we understand in terms of planet formations and any kind of mass in terms of size or volume, such as the gases making up a star, or anything generally represented in terms of development. I think this is critical recognition because it allows us to look at our environment and witness not just a local nature reserved for a planet in just the right location in orbit around a star, but it allows us to see a blueprint-like process that is fundamental for existence in any sense of the idea. This is why I have stated that it can be a bit more difficult to get familiar with the process by studying man-made natures, but when we look at how plants behave, we could start to see beyond the specifics of life and growth and survival based on local environments such as the tropics or Arctic, and we could start to see a fundamental process that is shared throughout existence. In this sense, we say that the process remains constant, and the variation can be the materials available or interaction with those materials, such as other environments we find on other planets and even other galaxies.